Hello and welcome to a Suntup unboxing or unenveloping because it's not really a box per se. This, my friends, is the print that Vladimir Zimakov did for Born of Man and Woman by Richard Matheson from Suntup Editions, not to be confused with Suntup Editions, the press that I announced myself back on April 1st. So this... It's still available, which is surprising. I mean, maybe it's not surprising because it is pricier. But it's understandable why it's so pricey. Because this is printed on Barcham Green Dover paper that was created, handmade paper, back in 1982. 42 years ago. This handmade paper was created 42 years ago, and it's just been... I don't know, chilling in a warehouse, chilling in somebody's paper stock, up until the point where Paul Suntup came knocking. This is the same paper stock that is being used for the lettered edition of Born of Man and Woman. Man, this is... I don't want to say flimsy. Flimsy doesn't feel right, because flimsy makes it sound cheap. It's not cheap, but this is delicate. That's the word I'm going to use. It's very delicate paper. You can see kind of the deckled edge there. So this is an original impression, straight off the artwork, straight off the original, chip off the old block, if you will. Numbered 20 of 65 by Vladimir Zimakov. So yeah, if you're not familiar, I mean, this edition is fully sold out. This is not this print, but the actual short story itself. Born of Man and Woman. Born of Man and Women. Oh my God, I can't speak English. Born of Man and Woman by Richard Matheson. Matheson was a legend, which is not an I Am Legend pun. But his very first published short story, the first short story he ever sold, was Born of Man and Woman. It's an absolutely powerful short story. It reads kind of like a diary entry of this very tragic child. Well, you just gotta read it for yourself. You can read it, I believe, for free online. It's one of those ones that kind of haunts you, just like The Ones Who Walk Away from Amelas by Ursula Le Guin. So anyways, the Suntup did a numbered edition and a lettered edition. No artist edition for this. Numbered edition sold out immediately. Lettered edition, I believe, also sold out immediately. It is printed letterpress through and through, both editions. Numbered edition, I think, was like the same price as just this print alone, which is kind of wild. But like I said, this print is on 42-year-old paper, Barcham Green Dover, which is just incredible. Here is a very sad fact. So Matheson's short story was published back in 1950. Less time has elapsed since that original publication in 1950 and the creation of this paper, than has passed between the creation of this paper and now. I don't like that fact. You probably don't like that fact either. That's a wild fact. But yeah. So if you do want a copy of this print, you can go to suntup.press, link in the description below, and pick up a copy for yourself. I don't know how many are left. I should check that out. But if you want a copy of the short story, you're going to have to go to the secondary market. However, if you want other Richard Matheson, Suntup art, no, because I feel like Hell House is sold out too. Did Hell House sell out? I for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking the artist edition of Hell House is still available, which might not be the case. That might have sold out as well, especially because it's signed by all of the authors, except for Matheson, of course, and not the artist who had also passed. But it's signed by like director Mike Flanagan, Richard Christian Matheson, and I can't remember who the other authors were that were involved in that. But for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking that that's still available. If it is still available, you can pick that up. That was actually just a few months ago from Suntup, which is why I was hesitant in thinking this was Born of Man and Woman. I got this one wrong with my prediction. I didn't know what my prediction was going to be, but I'm like, it can't be Matheson. He just did Matheson. But it was Matheson within 3 months of each other. The most recent title, which is the most recent announcement, from Suntup is Kin by Keelan Patrick Burke, featuring a prequel novella, Cottonmouth. The numbered edition and I believe the lettered edition are both sold out there, but the classic edition I believe is still available, which, it's still signed by the author and illustrator because they're both one and the same. They're both Keelan Patrick Burke. Next month's May's is going to be Don Quixote by good old Cervantes. It's rumored. It's not obviously confirmed or anything, but that very strong rumor that it is Don Quixote, which is going to feature, stunning publication of Quixote, plus a supplemental volume, which is over 1,000 pages long. It's signed by the translator, who is one of the most famous translations of the work. And people are thinking, well, why are you going to have a 1,000-page compendium volume for your classic novel? It's not. You got to remember that it's not necessarily this translator writing all 1,000 pages. It sounds like it's just supplemental material. So it sounds like she's almost compiled like every introduction or every piece like ever written on Don Quixote, which is definitely not the case. You're going to need more than 1,000 pages for that. But an extensive volume, all crammed into a bonus volume, which is just absolutely wild. So be sure to subscribe to Suntup Editions to be on the lookout for that. I don't know if I'm going to pick up a copy for myself. I'm kind of torn. I don't really necessarily need Don Quixote. I already have a couple issue copies of Don Quixote, including a Easton Press edition. It's a public domain novel. It's a classic novel. I've never actually read the novel, but read the whole thing. I don't necessarily need another version of it, but I'm really tempted to try to get on the numbered train if I can for the next quarter, because I don't know what's around the bend for the next quarter, right? Am I crazy in thinking that? But anyways, this is Born a Man and Woman, the art print by Vladimir Zimakov. I've managed to ramble for 7.5 minutes on one single piece of paper, even if it is a 42-year-old piece of paper. So please consider subscribing to the channel. Plenty of other unboxings on the channel, including another art print coming up from Suntup Editions. This one for the yellow wallpaper. Not yellow wallpaper. This one for Rebecca, Daphne du Maurier. I'll say yellow wallpaper, I did the prints, as well as at least one book review a week. So thank you very much for watching. Check out Suntup Editions, and we'll see you around next time.